This is Geneva Cemetery. It's located in Geneva, Florida. It is a historic cemetery that was established in 1880, and it has 17 Civil War graves, 15 Confederate, 2 Union soldiers. Most famous grave is the head of Lewis Powell, one of the conspirators who assassinated Abraham Lincoln. So let's go on inside and let's see these historical places.
Certainly a beautiful setting in the cemetery. A lot of live oaks, Spanish moss draping. This is one of the oldest markers in the cemetery here. J.W. Previtt, born in 1825, passed in 1884. J.F. Previtt was born in 1853 and passed away in 1912, safe in the arms of Jesus. Previtt family well represented here. This is James F. Previtt, born in 1874 and passed in 1906. Woodman of the world. They always have some fine monuments. And Della E., the wife of J.F. Jones, passed away at the age of 20 in 1888. In aftertime, we'll meet her. J.J. Nicholson, born in 1843, died in 1887. This is the grave of James M. Morrow, Sergeant in the 11th Florida Infantry, Confederate States Army. Born in 1811, passed away in 1888. This is Henry Baker. He was a lieutenant in the Confederate Army from Virginia. Born in 1840, passed away in 1926. Beautiful oak tree. Good example of a live oak. The branches are so strong, they'll go out for 20 yards, drop a little bit, not even hit the ground, and then pick up again. It's a magnificent tree. This is the grave of Jacob S. Geiger. He served in the 2nd Florida Cavalry in the Confederate Army. Born in 1824, passed away in 1896. It seems like many Confederate graves are decorated with Confederate flags in southern cemeteries, but none of these Confederate veteran graves have a Confederate flag next to them, which makes it very difficult to locate. But we will search on, and just such a beautiful cemetery. Just walking around is amazing. Harold R. Peck served in the U.S. Army in World War II, earned the Bronze Star Medal. Born in 1924, passed away in 2011. The grave of C.C. Hart, served in the Florida Cavalry, Confederate Army, passed away in 1892. Troy A. Proctor, veteran of the Spanish-American War in the Florida Infantry. Born in 1883, must have been about 16 years old at the time of the Spanish-American War. The grave of J.J. Nicholson. He served in Miller's Company in the 5th Georgia Infantry, Confederate Army. Born in 1843, passed away in 1887. The grave of William C. Lockett. Serves as a sergeant in the Georgia Infantry in the Confederate Army. Passed away in 1896. That takes us to the grave of Lewis Powell. Born in 1844, passed away in 1865. Not by natural causes, not by battle death. He served in the 2nd Florida Infantry and the Hamilton Blues. He also served in the 43rd Battalion of Virginia Cavalry, Mosby's Rangers, that legendary outfit that terrorized the Union in Northern Virginia. After leaving Mosby's Rangers, where he earned the nickname Louis the Terrible, Powell made his way to Baltimore under the pseudonym Louis Payne, where he met the actor John Wilkes Booth. Powell agreed to participate in President Abraham Lincoln's assassination conspiracy. His role was to kill Secretary of State William H. Seward, which he attempted on the night of April 14, 1865. Secretary Seward had recently been hurt in an accident, and Powell gained entry into his house by the ruse that he was delivering medicine. Powell was stopped at the top of the stairs by Seward's son Frederick, who insisted that Powell give him the medicine. Powell attempted to shoot Frederick, but his gun misfired, so he clobbered Frederick on the head with the barrel of his gun and burst into Seward's bedroom. Powell pushed Seward's daughter Fanny to the side and jumped into the bed, stabbing Seward in the face and neck 5 times. Seward's bodyguard, Private George F. Robinson, jumped on Powell and knocked him out of the bed. Augustus Henry Seward, another son of Seward's, was also hurt in the fight. Powell stabbed a messenger, Emmerich Hansel, as he fled the house. All 5 men injured at Seward's house survived. Powell was arrested at the Surratt boarding house in Maryland a couple of days later and imprisoned at the Washington Arsenal. Lewis Powell was found guilty at trial and executed along with 3 others on July 7, 1865, and buried at the Washington Arsenal. So how did Powell's head end up being buried here in Geneva, Florida? It seems that when his body was exhumed at Washington Arsenal in 1870, a man by the name of A.H. Gawler took his skull and later donated it to the Arms Medical Museum, which was housed in the Ford's Theater, in 1885. From there, it was given to the Smithsonian Anthropology Department in 1898, where it was mixed in with Native American bones for nearly a century. In 1992, his skull was discovered, tagged as Skull of White Male, hung at Washington, D.C., for the attempted murder of Secretary S.W. Seward. The skull was claimed by his niece and buried next to his mother at Geneva Cemetery 2 years later, in November 1994, and thus the saga of Lewis Powell's buried head in Geneva Cemetery. This is the grave of Lewis Powell's mother, Caroline Powell. She was born in 1811, buried beside her son's head. Always the saddest part of a cemetery. This is the Williams babies. Robert T. died in 1882, Mary E. 1887, and an unnamed baby passed away in 1894. And to have 3 young children die in the same family, it was more common in the 19th century and earlier, but still very traumatic and devastating. This is the grave of Mary E. Taylor on the left, born in 1885, passed away under the age of 4. The date of death is crunched off. Parents outlived her by 45 to 65 years. This is Gerald R. Saunier. He was a staff sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps, served in Korea. Born in 1932, passed in 2020 in the home stretch. This grave, I checked the front and the back, it says nothing but Dooley, with a like a pink quartz just sticking out about 1 foot from the main stone. If you enjoyed this trip to Geneva Cemetery, please click like, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you on our next adventure.